Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christy and today I'm going to be insulating the van, which is something I've needed to do for a couple of months. I will be using this 3M spray adhesive, got my mask, and I've already cut some pieces of the insulation. So stick around and I'll show you what it looks like to cover the van. So I want to go ahead and discuss early in the video why I chose the 3M Thinsulate that I did. There are tons of options for your insulation. You can just do a straight fiberglass insulation, which I knew I didn't want because I didn't want the extra fibers and I didn't want to deal with that mess. There's Havelock wool. A lot of people use that in van applications. There's polyiso foam board that you can use. You can also do spray foam. I'm still in a low build phase of my van. I don't yet know what I want. I don't want something that's that permanent in the van in case I decide I want to change some things, if I want to put another window in or that kind of thing. Part of the reason that I chose the 3M Thinsulate that I chose it for breathability and moisture management. So with the metal, even with proper ventilation and humidity, you can still get a little bit of moisture. So the 3M Thinsulate is what's called hydrophobic, which means it doesn't retain water. So essentially, I'm not going to have to worry about mold and mildew growth in my insulation behind whatever walls I decide to end up putting back there. That was one of the big things. I also like it because the application for vehicles is it does have sound deadening properties. I did discuss in another section that I did put up the Killmat sound deadener behind my insulation. Some people think that's redundant, but I explained why I did that there. Another reason that I chose this particular insulation is because it's so lightweight. I don't want to keep adding a bunch of weight to my van. And last but not least, I chose Thinsulate because it has an R value of 5.2. Now, with that said, a caveat for any insulation. If it's not installed properly or if it is compressed, then you are not going to get the R value that you are reading on a box or in your research. So I just recommend whatever type of insulation you choose, make sure to install it the way that the manufacturer recommends. I've seen people put it under their subfloors without building up, and so when they put the subfloor down on top of it, it's just compressing the insulation, which really is doing you no good. You're not getting the R value, at least, that you intended to get from that. So those are the reasons. Again, there could be 100 people comment saying, well, I like Havelock wool better because of this, or, I like this. I didn't want to deal with rodents. I wanted lightweight. I wanted ease of application. Some of the rigid boards are great for your R value, but you can't shove them into the little crannies, and you have to be much more precise in your cutouts. So I wanted something that I could cram into all those little crevices to try to make sure I have overall coverage. So the insulation that I chose is Thinsulate, and it does come in very large rolls like this. The interest of time already cut some of them into squares, and I'll be spraying adhesive spray to put them up to the walls, which you'll see in a minute. But just to give you an idea, that's what it looks like when it's rolled up. So since I just put in my new floor, I went ahead and decided to cover it with plastic so that when I spray the spray adhesive, nothing actually accidentally gets onto the floor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray the panels, and I'm also going to spray the wall, and we're just gonna go ahead and get these up.
So let's do one first. Here's your spray can.
It's hot.
Dear God.
It's already.
Here's it. You're gonna shake it up a bunch. You're gonna go see this one.
Ready? Wait for you to first. That's so terrible. That's awful. What? 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 It's starting to dry already. Crap. Oh no, that's not far enough over.
Huh?
It's already stuck. Mine's already stuck. I can't move mine. That's already drying.
So spray a little bit right here and stick that to that. And then bump right here a little bit too. And over here.
Trying to step on this. after our first few test pieces, we got it down a little bit better and we're able to move forward with the van. Well, it's another day. Good morning. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, and it is 40 degrees outside right now, so I cannot start using the spray adhesive. It says like 60 degrees is the lowest temp you want to use this, so it's going to be a little while. Thought I would go ahead and get the rest of my pieces cut. So I've got all of my insulation done on the sides, with the exception of the insulation that's going to slide into these columns. Everywhere that there's a column or a side that goes by, I'm going to put insulation in there. That's going to be quite a task. However, because of the temperatures outside, I thought I would just try to get everything cut at one time now, the rest of what I have left, but wanted to give you guys a tip, and this was my daughter's recommendation. Yesterday, my daughter and I had cut out quite a few pieces for the walls, and had them somewhat laid out, but when we got in to do the actual install, we were trying to figure out which pieces matched where. So my daughter Brittany came up with this idea, and I thought this was pretty smart. You can actually write on the insulation fabric. I just had a little marker, and we put the dimensions of each piece. We're writing them on the piece and then putting a sticky note, which you could just write on the van if you wanted to do that, in the place where it's going to be the same. So you have corresponding measurements because they're very different. So I don't have my daughter's help again today. This is day 5 on the project, from the subfloor to the floor to the kill mat to the insulation. So today I'm trying to finish up the rest of the insulation by myself, which is fine. I'm just going to get all these pieces cut, and then hopefully when it warms up enough, it won't take me that long to actually get them stuck up on the ceiling. One thing that I did want to point out is you do want to cover your wheel wells very, very good with this. Unfortunately, I don't have video of myself doing all this, because by the time you get the glue on your hands and you're spraying and you're on a ladder and you have your mask on, it was just really too much to try to record and do the work, but this is what it looks like.
Perfectly stupid.
E.T. E.T. phone home.
I am your... Never mind.